morning and happy Tuesday. We're looking at a pretty happy start to your morning commute for the most part. We are starting to see that typical volume build on our major routes, and we're looking at a very minor problem that you can't see, but I can see. We have a stalled vehicle on the southbound, rather eastbound 401, east of the 400 in the collectors, just on the left or rather right shoulder here, but you can't see it because it's underneath the bottom bar there. But the eastbound 401, that's building from approaching the 400 in the collectors through to where we have that stalled vehicle, and we're also looking at delays from the southbound 400 from Shepherd down to the eastbound 401 ramp. So it's slowing things down for sure. You do want to give yourself extra time as per usual. Still looking at construction on the eastbound 401 moving through Nielsen in the express. You can see the flashing lights in the right lane there. It's not slowing things down heading eastbound, but you can see the typical volume on the opposite side of the highway, westbound 401 jammed up from about Nielsen all the way over to Kennedy, alternately express and collectors. Hey dads, don't miss Datitude, the parenting podcast by dads for dads. Join Vic LaRusso and Al Delben for Datitude. Visit globalstorynetwork.com. That's a look at your roads. Now send things over to Frankie. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks, Steph. As we take a look at winds this morning, not strong by any means, but southerly flow. That southerly flow is going to bring some warmth towards us. We have 24 degrees right now in Chicago. We're sitting here at 16. Calgary. Oh, Calgary sits at -6. It's 2 degrees this morning in Winnipeg. That 2 degrees, by the time we get into Friday night, into Saturday morning, we could see temperatures through the overnight, Friday night into Saturday, of just 3 here in the city, 8 into Halifax this morning. Now, let's talk a little bit about that future forecast. I should mention this morning we've been watching thunderstorms just to the east of us, not impacting Toronto, so we'll see a little bit of morning sunshine. We get into the afternoon, cloud cover builds. Potential of seeing some pop-up showers as it's going to be a hot, humid day. Daytime highs of 29. Feeling like 37, but into the overnight, cold front moves through. About 10 o'clock, we're going to get into some heavier rainfall that moves through. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, looks like it's going to start off a little bit on the wet side and pretty wet overall Wednesday into Thursday with temperatures falling through Wednesday. Daytime highs, as I mentioned today, near record-breaking at 29. Humidex 37. Tomorrow, we start at 19. We fall down to 13. Then as we work our way into your Thursday, we'll start off soggy and a daytime high of 14 with a cool northerly flow at 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Now it's off to your news.
Fewer shootings, nearly 250 arrests, and over 500 charges. Toronto police updating how its fight against guns and gangs is going. Project Community Space was launched in August after all 3 levels of government committed millions in the wake of a disturbing surge in violence over the summer. And now we are 6 weeks into this 11-week plan. The force says shooting incidents have gone down 30%. Most of the arrests have been for firearm offenses. Police also conducting 876 bail compliance checks. 12 people who were out on bail were arrested again. Chief Saunders says it's clear that this project is working.
We're getting more leads. We're getting to run with the cases a lot harder at the front end, yielding some successful results.
The project ends at the end of the month. Another update expected in November. Jamaican Grammy-winning reggae star and actor Louis Rankin has died in a car crash here in Ontario. Now, it's reported Rankin was killed in a crash with a truck on Highway 89 yesterday. Rankin, born as Leonard Forbes in St. Thomas, Jamaica, he was best known for his role as Jamaican drug lord Ox in the 1998 film Belly and for his 1992 dance hall hit Typewriter. He had just put on Instagram on Sunday that he was in Toronto filming a movie. Louis Rankin was 55 years old. To world news now, a massive display of military hardware and troops in Beijing to mark the 70th birthday of Communist China. The parade, overseen by President Xi Jinping, in his speech, the leader said the military would safeguard China's sovereignty, security, and development interests while firmly upholding world peace. This is the most important annual event of the year in China. 15,000 soldiers, 70 floats, and 100,000 civilians taking part in the more than 2-hour parade. 2,000 kilometers south of those celebrations in Beijing, protesters in Hong Kong continuing their fight for more democratic freedoms. dressed in black, carrying umbrellas. Demonstrators here clashing with police, throwing fire bombs. Police using water cannons and tear gas to disperse the crowds. The protests bringing Hong Kong to a standstill for months. It is the worst political crisis the city has seen in decades. And to Taiwan now, have a look at this. That is the moment a bridge collapses in a busy fishing port this morning. At least 2 vehicles, including an oil tanker, going down with it, crushing several boats below. Divers and military personnel are now searching for survivors, with some crews feared trapped. At least 10 people taken to hospital, 6 with serious injuries. The cause is, on a clear day, is still under investigation. So we'll continue to follow this story here this morning. Today marking the 2nd anniversary of the worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history. It was on this day 2 years ago, a gunman fired from a 32nd floor of Las Vegas's Mandalay Bay Hotel into a concert crowd below, killing 58, injuring more than 700. The shooting lasted more than 10 minutes. The gunman was eventually found dead in his room, killed by his own bullet. Several memorial services are planned throughout the day. The anniversary of the massacre has sparked renewed debate over gun control laws. The device which allowed the Vegas killer to shoot as fast as he did is now outlawed.